Hey guys, how are you? Mike here from the Wellness Bucket. Thank you for joining me once again for another Motivation Monday message. Big time happy you guys are here and excited for a new week ahead. So let's go ahead and dive into this week's message. And it stems from a question, actually. A lot of these stem from questions and conversations I have from either folks who reach out to me or even my own clients. So this actually stems from a client recently who asked, hey Mike, listen, during your wellness coaching program that you provided me with, there's stretching in there. And I'm just curious what the benefit is of the stretching that you're having me do. And it's a great question because I actually include stretching in all of my 30-day wellness programs. And I highly recommend stretching big time. It's usually one of the most missed pieces of when it comes to health and wellness. But let's talk about stretching and whether or not it's even important and why it's important. So one, yes, it's important, but two, let's talk about how and why and when it's important. Stretching is only important if, and this is a big if we warm up beforehand. Think about that. Stretching is only important if we warm up and effective beforehand. So what I would rather us do, and what I suggest all my clients do, and you do as well, is actually warm up first. Before doing any stretching, warm up the body first to make the stretching effective. And why is that? 3 reasons. Number one, when we warm up the body with a warm up, when we get the body's temperature up, what we're doing is we're increasing the muscle's ability to contract. And when we increase our muscle's ability to contract, we're actually able to stimulate more strength and more power from them. So that's number one, is with warming up, it's going to increase our muscles' temperature. And when we do that, more strength, more power, more success, whether we're running, biking, swimming, whatever it may be. That's number one. Number two is it increases circulation. Well, why is that important? Because when we increase circulation, we're decreasing the strain on our heart, right? And we'll look at it this way. When you get up out of bed, right, within the first 5 minutes, if you have to be at work, at your computer, taking calls, emailing, going into a meeting, you'd be like, what? Give me some time to kind of have my coffee, kind of get ready to go for the day. Your heart's no different, right? Give it that ramp up time. So increase circulation so it can be ready for what you're about to do. Be nice to your heart. That's number two. Increase circulation. And number three, that warm up is actually going to give us more endurance. Well, how does it do that? Well, when we increase our body's temperature, our blood cells actually end up having to hold more oxygen. Well, when it starts releasing this extra oxygen that it doesn't need, guess who consumes that extra oxygen? Your muscles do, and they use it for more energy, or more endurance, I should say. So that's the 3 reasons. One, to start off first with a warm-up. It could be 5 minutes of jumping jacks, burpees, jogging in place, whatever it may be, but just start with a couple of minutes of a warm-up, and then move into flexibility, then move into stretching. Because when you do that, your body's already warmed up. We're going to get a ton more benefit, not to mention a lot more flexibility, a lot more able to reach, perhaps even touch our toes if we couldn't before, when you warm up the body beforehand. So is stretching important? Yes, but after a warm-up, all right? So, whenever you're at a competitive event and you see people kind of maybe stretching beforehand without warming up first, probably not so good. So I don't recommend you do that as well. And here's a quick stat for you as well. If we're too flexible or too inflexible, there's a 2.5 times percentage that you have a higher chance of injury or risk for injury. So let's not be too flexible. Let's not be too inflexible. Let's just be perfect right in the middle. So again, just to recap, start with a warm-up first. It's number one. And then secondly, then stretch. And we're going to stretch because one, we're going to increase our body's temperature. We're going to two, increase circulation. And number three, in doing so, we're going to increase our musculature endurance, all right? So whether we're going for a long run, a long bike ride, a swim, that hard workout, that spin class, whatever it may be, we will be ready to go. All right, guys, that's this week's message. I hope it helps. I hope you're stretching, and if you need help stretching, reach out to me anytime. Happy to help. It is Mike@thewellnessbucket.com. You guys are awesome. Have a great week ahead. Until next Monday, cheers.